I want to I want to talk about the ending of the Flash movie. Now, I previously showed some clips of George Clooney and I gave my comments on that scene, but YouTube took it down, or Warner Brothers or YouTube took it down because YouTube is being really retarded these days. So I can't show the clip of George Clooney coming out and Barry Allen meeting him because I don't want another copyright strike. There's three strikes, you're out, and I already have like two strikes, so I have to be careful here. But anyways, I just want to talk about the ending and why the ending makes sense. If you watch Batman and Robin, Bruce Wayne is annoyed by Robin, and he says, "This is why Superman works alone." So if you watch Batman and Robin, that scene takes place in the beginning. So what this means is that Bruce Wayne or Batman is saying, George Clooney's Bruce Wayne or Batman is saying that there is a Superman in his world, in his universe. So what that means is that George Clooney's Batman is part of the bigger DCEU multiverse. If you go back and you watch Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, there's no hint of even Metropolis mentioned in the Nolan verse movies. There's no hint of Batman, or I'm sorry, there's no hint of Superman. There's no hint of Green Lantern. There's no hint of Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The Flash, Aquaman. There's no reference to any other DC hero in Nolan's universe. There's not even a mention of like Central City or Metropolis or anything like that. So what this means is that Christian Bale's Batman exists exists in a completely different universe from Nolan, Schumacher. I'm sorry, from Burton, Schumacher in the DCEU, because I don't when I think that when Nolan was doing Batman Begins, he just wanted to focus on Batman. So no other DC hero exists in the Nolan verse. It's just about Batman. So Batman Begins universe, or the Nolan verse, is completely separated from the DCEU. So if Christian Bale appeared as opposed to George Clooney, it wouldn't have made sense because Christian Bale's Batman is not connected to the DCEU. However, George Clooney's Batman, Batman from Batman and Robin, is connected to the DCEU because of that one line he says in the beginning. This is why Superman works alone, when he's annoyed by Robin's comments. So unfortunately, we don't get to see the Superman in the Schumacher universe because Batman and Robin killed the franchise for many years. So that was the final film in the Schumacher universe. So we have no mention. We don't get to see the Superman of George Clooney's universe. But I made that connection. And what's more interesting is if you watch Batman and Robin, uh, Bruce Wayne tells uh, Bruce Wayne tells Dick Grayson that the circus is halfway to Metropolis by now. Metropolis, of course, is the city Clark Kent or Superman is in. So there definitely exists a Metropolis and Superman in the Schumacher universe. So what that means is that Superman exists in the Schumacher universe, but for some reason he was never shown on screen. Probably because WB wanted to keep this franchises separate, or they're working on a Batman versus Superman movie even during the time of the production of Batman and Robin. I don't know, but it is interesting to note that Superman exists in uh, the George Clooney universe. So that means that George Clooney's universe is part of the bigger DCU universe, and that it makes sense that George Clooney's timeline, or George Clooney's universe, collided with Barry Allen's universe when he moved the can of tomatoes, or when he altered the timeline again, and uh, his Batman made it into Barry's his Batman rewrote Ben Affleck's Batman, and now George Clooney is the Batman of Barry Allen's universe. So I think this was the right move to get George Clooney to connect the Schumacher and the Burton film. So I have to give So I agree with what the director or what the producers of The Flash did, putting George Clooney in there instead of Christian Bale. If Christian Bale was there, it would be completely random and it wouldn't make much sense given that his universe is completely disconnected and separated from the larger Burton Schumacher uh, DCU universe. So that makes sense. So I mean, I really like the Flash film. I thought it was awesome having Christopher Reeve and Nicolas Cage and even Adam West Batman, and I really like the multiverse showing and all that stuff, and him altering the timeline and it having consequences, et cetera, et cetera. So I really like the Flash movie. I just wish Grant Gustin was in there. From the CW Flash TV show. That would have been awesome, but for some reason they didn't bring him in. They brought Ezra Miller in for the Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they didn't bring Grant Gustin in for some reason for the Flash movie, which to me doesn't make any sense. It would have been a fun cameo to have Grant Gustin in there, but they didn't go that route for some strange reason. But anyways, I still like the Flash movie. I don't know why everyone's ripping on it. The baby scene didn't bother me. It was just like whatever. I didn't think too much about it. And I really like the Flash movie. I do not know why everyone's ripping on that movie. Was it perfect? No, I don't think so. It wasn't. It wasn't at the same level as No Way Home uh, or anything else like that. But it was still a fun DC movie. I really like the callbacks to Michael Keaton's Batman and Christopher Reeve, and seeing what's his face, seeing Nicolas Cage. I really liked all those cameos. So I don't know why everyone's like saying the movie's not as good as they were hoping. The CGI wasn't that good, that I'll admit. It looked kind of wompy, or looked kind of choppy at places, or it needed more time to finish. That's the impression I got. But The Flash was still a good movie. It was still a lot better than it was a lot better than Shazam, Fury of the Gods, in my opinion. I think it was a really good movie. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the movie? I think Supergirl was kind of underused, but I think Sasha's performance was pretty good as Supergirl. So it was a really good movie. Michael Keaton, of course, stole the show as Batman. I thought he did a really good portrayal of Batman. But anyways, what do you guys think of this movie? And am I the only one who enjoyed it? What did you guys think of the ending? Does it make sense for you guys to have George Clooney in there, or would you have put Christian Bale in there, or like, do you think Christian Bale would have been a better choice? I think George Clooney would have been a better choice, like for the reasons I just gave. But what do you guys think of this movie, and what do you guys think of the George Clooney cameo? Let me know in your comments below. And please, YouTube, do not take this video down. I didn't post any copyrighted material, so please let me just voice my opinion on this movie without you taking it down. Please, thank you.